Hello, everybody. How's it going? I want to talk about the fact that I was blessed beyond belief to have had two loving grandmothers. One lived, I forgot how old my paternal grandmother was when she passed, but my maternal grandmother lived to 100, and they loved us kids beyond belief. Because of them, my childhood was enriched. They loved us. The best thing about grandparents is they can sit back, relax, and enjoy. They don't have to do the heavy when it comes to the discipline and all that, unless need be, because some of these kids need discipline today. But anyways, I was blessed, and I hoped one day I would be a grandma too. And so with the inception of and the sporadic growth of parental estrangement, these, our sons and daughters, I should say, are allowing us initially, not myself, but allowing certain parents to be grandparents, to be involved in birthday parties and the first steps, and being in the hospital and holding that grandchild, and we invest in them, and it's a wonderful experience. And when a mom or dad gets their son or daughter comes and says we're going to have a baby, that you can see two people more excited. So anyways, today's day and age, with the rise of estrangement, you have parents that are either deciding they don't want contact with the grandparents anymore, so they're taking their children, saying, these are my children, you can't have access to them, and how dare you, and don't you ever talk to us again. And then they remove our grandbabies from us. I want to know, in that case, what the parents have said to their children in order to murder the relationship between that grandchild and that grandparent. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Well, you can say, oh, I'm protecting my kids. Oh, okay. And in my case, my youngest moved on at the age of 19, eventually got engaged, got pregnant, got married, and she has, I believe, 4 children. And they don't know I exist. There is no relationship. And so I did a little bit of digging, and I wondered if there are any documentaries about children being separated from loving grandparents. And there are. The one is called Erasing Family. That was from 2020, focused on parental alienation and alienation from grandparents. Big Mama, 2008, which follows an elderly woman fighting to keep her grandson, and films like Surrounded with Love, and videos on platforms like YouTube and things like that. So there have been documentaries and such made. Erasing from Family explores the phenomenon of parental alienation and the devastating impact on children and extended families. It's how children basically get caught in high conflict divorces and get separated from loved ones. There's a lot of stuff online regarding alienated grandparents on Facebook and such. And I want to talk about the impact that these young parents don't think about. There is emotional and psychological impact, which includes grief and loss. Children may experience a profound sense of loss and grief, similar to a bereavement, even if the grandparents are still alive, also known as ambiguous grief. The child will experience confusion and anger. The child may feel confused, angry, and struggle to understand the situation, especially if the reasons for the separation are not explained in an age-appropriate way. Feelings of abandonment and rejection. The disruption of a foundational relationship can lead to feelings of abandonment or rejection, impacting their sense of self. There are mental health risks. The absence of a supportive grandparent relationship, which can provide emotional stability and buffer against stress, may increase the child's risk of developing mental health issues like anxiety and depression. Attachment issues. The loss can interfere with the child's ability to form healthy relationships and secure attachments later in life. Developmental and social impacts. Loss of support system. Grandparents are often provide a unique source of unconditional love, stability, guidance, and mentoring without the burden of day-to-day discipline. This removal means the loss of this vital support, which can be particularly critical during events like parental divorce. I can go on and on and on. But if you love your child and they have had a positive, flourishing relationship with a grandparent, and you're doing it out of your own selfish needs, your child is going to suffer. And we wonder why so many of these little toddlers, children, 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds, etc., are addicted to the internet, are addicted to tablet, is because they're filling a void, because their parents decided that they no longer wanted to see their mom or dad because they're disgruntled about something. If you love your child, you sacrifice for them. In fact, both of my mother-in-laws, prior to my current relationship, my current marriage, were very challenging people. My first mother-in-law was not the nicest person in the world, but because I respected my then husband and I loved my children, I wanted them to know where they came from. I was told my paternal grandmother wasn't always the easiest person to get along with. Now, she loved us kids, but she was challenging to my mom and my uncle's wife, her other daughter-in-law. And yet, despite that, we always gathered her for family parties and such, and she was never unincluded or uninvited. So if you think you're doing it for you because you have to protect your son or daughter, you're not protecting them, you're damaging them. You're doing the opposite of what your intended purpose is. So think about it. It's never too late to turn around and allow your grandchild the opportunity to spend time with their beloved grandparent. None of us are perfect. Your in-laws aren't perfect. Your aunts and uncles weren't perfect. Your grandmother, my mother was not perfect. My grandmother wasn't perfect. So you have to think about it. You have to stop punishing these children. They don't deserve it. You might think, oh, I have to do this for now, but you don't think about the long-term consequences of how they're really going to suffer in life. So anyways, that's all there is to it, and I'll be back.